Hey there YouTube, Wrestling Optimus here, back with another action figure review. It's my favorite pay-per-view of the year, the Royal Rumble. That also means we're officially on the road to WrestleMania. For those of you who care, I tied for first in my predictions league with the macho guy BJ Savage. Looks like I'll have to think of a tiebreaker sooner than I planned. Oh well. If you're new here, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more pro wrestling and action figure content. Now, let's get ready to count down from 10 because it's Rumble time in the Thunderdome. So, for a recap and review, let's take it over to the action figures. Per usual, R-Truth is on the pre-show, this time dressed like Elmer Fudd. He claims to be hunting wabbits and looking for Bugs Bunny, referencing tonight's musical guest, Bad Bunny. He thanks Bugs for saving the Earth from the Monstars, then takes off. The women's tag team title match got bumped to the pre-show. At some point, Asuka disappears, so Charlotte hits a natural selection, but Baszler kicks out. Ric Flair's music plays and distracts Charlotte while Lacey jumps the barricade. Although her initial attack is stopped, Ric hands her something and she decks Charlotte with a women's right. Nia follows that up with one of the worst leg drops I've ever seen, and your new women's tag team champions are Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. The main show kicks off with Goldberg's iconic entrance as he takes on Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Before the bell rings, they stare each other down, then shockingly Drew spears Goldberg. They fight to the outside where Goldberg spears Drew through a barricade. Despite his injuries, Drew crawls back into the ring and demands they start the match. Goldberg charges but catches a Claymore to the face. However, he kicks out. Drew misses a second Claymore and eats 2 spears. Goldberg hits an awkward-looking jackhammer for a scary near fall, but Drew kicks out yet again. He avoids the spear and hits another Claymore to win and retain his title. Afterwards, the two men shake hands and embrace in a really nice show of respect. Next, Carmella is joined by her sommelier Reginald as she takes on the legit boss Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Both women are wearing blinged out tops. In fact, I think Sasha's outfit is Louis Vuitton. The pumped-in crowd chants, "You suck" at Carmella as she does her usual heel shtick. Sasha misses a dive and lands in Reginald's arms. He just smiles as she turns it into a Hurricane Rana. Before he can figure out what just happened, the ref ejects him from ringside. Carmella tries a dive of her own and lands awkwardly on her face. Sasha goes full Eddie Guerrero and does the Three Amigos plus a frog splash, but Mella gets her knees up and reverses it into the Code of Silence. Sasha gets to the rope and eventually locks in the bank statement to get the victory and retain her championship. Kofi Kingston isn't medically cleared, so we won't be getting one of his amazing Rumble spots this year. But his New Day brothers are backstage discussing all of Woods' recent losses to Retribution. Sami Zayn interrupts and says Rumble positions are all about politics, but it doesn't matter because he has eyes in the back of his head, so Kofi sneaks up from behind and scares him. Woods calls Sami a joke and shoos him away. Meanwhile, Kofi says he's wearing his gear to show support because if one of them wins, they all win. Bad Bunny performed. I didn't watch it. It's time for the Women's Royal Rumble, with the ever-creepy Jerry Lawler on commentary for some reason. Here's a rapid-fire rundown of what happened. Bayley and Naomi enter at numbers 1 and 2 respectively. They're followed by Bianca Belair at 3. Billie Kay comes out at number 4, not dressed in Riot Squad gear, and rather than enter the ring, she joins commentary to discuss her resume. Shotzi Blackheart arrives in her tank at number 5 and fires the cannon at Billie Kay when she's handed a resume. Shayna Baszler comes out at number 6 and chooses to punch Billie's resume and shove her down instead. My pick at lucky number 7 is Toni Storm. She simply ignores Billie while Shayna makes the first elimination, taking out Shotzi. Jillian Hall, who I don't really know, is next at number 8. She befriends Billie Kay and they form an alliance called Billie and Jilly. Ruby Riott draws number 9, followed by Victoria at number 10, sporting a Spider-Man getup. Peyton Royce is number 11 and immediately does a double team move with her former partner Billie Kay, but Billie refuses to do the iconic pose because Ruby is watching. Former WOW champion Santana Garrett is number 12, followed by the other half of the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan. Billy and Jilly dissolve as they get eliminated by the Riot Squad. Rhea Ripley comes out at number 14 and eliminates Toni Storm. Boo! Then Santana Garrett, while Shayna eliminates Victoria. The Queen Charlotte Flair struts out at number 15 just as Bayley slides under the ropes and eliminates Ruby Riott. When Dana Brooke comes out at number 16, Peyton Royce manages to simultaneously save Bayley while eliminating Liv Morgan. Dana doesn't last long, getting powerbombed on the ring apron and eliminated by Rhea. The beautiful Tori Wilson is number 17. Then, for some reason, Ric Flair's music plays at number 18 as Lacey Evans comes out dressed in one of the Nature Boys' robes. In a rage, Charlotte eliminates Peyton Royce. Then, Shayna eliminates Tori. Number 19 is Mickie James. Bianca Belair eliminates Bayley during her entrance. Then, Nikki Cross comes out with new music and a new look at number 20. Alicia Fox makes her return at 21, followed closely by R-Truth and the 24/7 Jobbers. Truth jumps in the ring. Alicia helps him beat back the Jobbers at first, then rolls him up to become your new 24/7 champion. Mandy Rose comes out at 22 and eliminates the new champ, who gets immediately rolled up by R-Truth on the outside to get his baby back. Dakota Kai comes out at number 23. Lacey Evans eliminates Mickie James with a woman's right. Then Carmella arrives at number 24. Rhea Ripley eliminates Dakota Kai and Mandy Rose, while Carmella eliminates Nikki Cross. Nobody's meaner than number 25 Tamina. She knocks out Reginald on her way to the ring, then immediately goes after Rhea Ripley. Naomi almost gets eliminated by Bianca, but gets herself back up using Bianca's hair. They help each other to get back in the ring. Lana makes her return at 26, followed by Alexa Bliss at 27 in a very colorful version of her old ring gear. I guess she's not in Fiend mode. Yet. But she is aggressive as hell, taking out a few people before everyone gangs up on her. The lights start to go out, and it looks like Alexa is about to transform when Rhea Ripley eliminates her from behind. Ember Moon comes out at number 28 and delivers an eclipse to Baszler before beating up Rhea and Lacey. But she's eliminated by number 29, Nia Jax, who teams up with her tag team partner, Shayna Baszler, to eliminate Naomi and Tamina. Of course, they start fighting after that, with Jax eliminating Baszler, but she's attacked by Lana, who pulls down the ropes, causing Nia to eliminate herself. Natalya won the number 30 slot in a match against Tamina on WWE Backstage. She pretends to be nice to Lana, then eliminates her. So the final four are Natalya, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte. Bianca eliminates Natalya. Rhea and Charlotte square off in a rematch of last year's WrestleMania. Then, Bianca teams up with her to eliminate Charlotte. While Bianca celebrates, Rhea tries to throw her over, but they both end up hanging from the ropes. They agree to slide back in and start fighting again. With a final clothesline, Bianca eliminates Rhea Ripley and punches her ticket to WrestleMania. She won from the number 3 spot, lasting 56 minutes, which breaks the women's record. Afterwards, she gives an emotional promo, thanking her parents and saying she's going to put the EST in WrestleMania while pointing at the sign. Miz and Morrison find Bad Bunny and claim they want to collaborate, but Bunny says no. So Miz starts insulting Booker T, who comes up from behind and ominously wishes him luck in the Royal Rumble. R-Truth is back and still confused. Peter Rosenberg tells him that John Cena is here only to hit Truth in the balls, roll him up, and win the 24/7 championship. Well, that was dumb. In our last match before the Men's Rumble, Roman Reigns defends his Universal Championship in a last man standing match against Kevin Owens. They go right at each other, with KO hitting an early pop-up powerbomb. Reigns uses a set of steel steps as they make their way up the ramp to the stage. Then, they battle into the virtual crowd. I think this is the most any wrestlers have ever explored this space. It ends with Roman throwing KO off the top tier through some tables below. Owens manages to get up and stumbles to the back where he's run over by a golf cart driven by Reigns. Can you say gimmick infringement? AEW should sue. Roman insults KO's family, so he powerbombs the tribal chief onto a table, which doesn't break. So he climbs up a nearby stack of crates and hits a frog splash, imploding the table. When Roman gets up from that, KO puts him on another table and commandeers a forklift. He raises the platform, climbs up, and does a senton bomb through Roman and the table. Yet again, Reigns makes it to his feet. Owens drags Roman back out to the stage, where he wakes up and spears KO through the LED boards. Roman finds a pair of handcuffs, but Kevin manages to steal them and attach Roman to a steel column. When the ref counts to 9, a desperate Reigns slams him face first into the column, knocking him out. Paul Heyman rushes over with the key, however, something goes wrong and they can't get the handcuffs unlocked. Another ref appears and starts counting, but mysteriously stops when he gets to 8, telegraphing the finish. Roman stands up as much as he can while Corey Graves covers by saying that counts as a vertical base. Finally, they get the cuffs undone and Roman sinks in the guillotine. KO passes out as the ref counts to 10. Your winner and still Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Now it's time for the Men's Royal Rumble. It was announced on WWE Backstage that numbers 1 and 2 would be Edge and Randy Orton. They come out and Edge attacks Orton on the ramp. Even when the match officially starts, they continue fighting around the ring rather than inside it. Sami Zayn comes out at number 3, followed by Mustafa Ali at number 4. In line with his hate for older guys, he attacks Edge. Jeff Hardy arrives at number 5 and gets immediately eliminated by number 6, Dolph Ziggler, while Edge and Randy Orton continue fighting on the outside. My pick turns out to be Shinsuke Nakamura at lucky number 7. Then, it's our first surprise as Carlito returns at number 8, with apple in hand. Side note, that is not a very COVID-friendly gimmick. Shinsuke tries to take a bite of the apple, but eats a backstabber instead. Meanwhile, Randy appears to suffer a leg injury and is escorted to the back. However, he's never technically eliminated. The New Day's Xavier Woods and Big E come out at numbers 9 and 10 respectively. They're wearing matching gear that beautifully pays tribute to John Huber, aka Luke Harper. Check out the close-ups online if you can find them. They eliminate Sami Zayn. After John Morrison comes out at number 11, Ali eliminates Woods, which pisses off Big E, so he eliminates Ali. Next up are Ricochet and Elias at numbers 12 and 13, then our first and only NXT wrestler, Damian Priest at number 14. Mr. Money in the Bank, The Miz, is number 15, and decides to knock over Bad Bunny's equipment from earlier on his way to the ring. He teams up with Morrison to take out a few people before Bad Bunny runs out and confronts them. This distraction allows Damian Priest to eliminate them both, so Bad Bunny climbs to the top rope and does an impressive crossbody on them to add insult to injury. Matt Riddle is number 16, followed by Daniel Bryan at 17. Then, in a complete shocker, Kane arrives at number 18, in ironically his record-breaking 18th Royal Rumble. I guess he took a break from politics for the night. He eliminates Ricochet, then has a brief Team Hell No reunion before chokeslamming Bryan and getting eliminated by Damian Priest. At number 19 is King Corbin, who eliminates Shinsuke Nakamura. Boo. Otis comes out at number 20 and delivers a caterpillar to Priest before he's also eliminated by Corbin. Thankfully, Dominic Mysterio is number 21 and eliminates Corbin, but he and Damian Priest get eliminated by number 22, Bobby Lashley. The next surprise entrant is Hurricane Shane Helms at 23. He tries to double chokeslam Big E and Bobby Lashley, but they team up to eliminate him. Captain Charisma Christian makes his shock return at 24 and stares down Edge while Big E, Daniel Bryan, and Riddle gang up to eliminate Lashley. Christian gives Edge a big hug. Riddle wants to join in, but he gets beat up instead. AJ Styles is number 25, followed by Rey Mysterio at 26. He's apparently sponsored by Victoria Cerveza, a Mexican beer. AJ's bodyguard almost literally reaches into the ring and pulls out Big E, eliminating him despite not being in the match. Sheamus arrives at number 27, then almost eliminates a second competitor, this time Rey Mysterio. Cesaro comes out at number 28. There's a brief reunion with Sheamus before Cesaro turns on him and gives him a big swing. Then, he gives an extra long swing to Bryan. The now Friday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, is number 29, and that leaves the monster among men, Braun Strowman, at number 30. He tries to eliminate AJ, but almost saves him, so he eliminates Sheamus and Cesaro instead. Then, he eliminates AJ by throwing him away from where Omos is standing. Seth eliminates Daniel Bryan and Riddle, meaning the not really Final Four is Edge, Christian, Seth, and Strowman. Rollins tries to befriend Strowman, but gets slammed. Edge and Christian team up on Strowman, only for Rollins to take out everyone but Edge. They fight with Edge eliminating Seth. In a played-out ending, Edge thinks he's won, but turns around into an RKO. But in not-so-typical fashion, the Rated R superstar reverses Orton and sends him over the top rope to win his second Royal Rumble ever. He's headed to WrestleMania. In my opinion, if people like this decision, it's only because they love Edge. He's old and does not need to win the Royal Rumble over a plethora of younger talent, especially from the number one position. That's completely unrealistic for a 40-year-old to do in their first match back after injury, and only serves to further bury the current roster. Then, there's his recent medical history. What is WWE going to do if Edge gets injured again before WrestleMania? Plus, I don't want to see him face Drew or Roman, but if he doesn't, that means one of them is dropping their belt. On a show where WWE made so many right calls, they still managed to whiff on the ending. With that said, I did really like the rest of the pay-per-view. Unlike the Men's Rumble, Drew vs. Goldberg was a perfect example of how to use a legend. It was quick, under 5 minutes, they hit all their big moves that we came to see, and then Goldberg put over the younger guy strong. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Also, Goldberg trolling Brock Lesnar with his ring attire was hysterical. The Universal Championship match between KO and Roman Reigns was sports entertaining as hell with all the big spots. And the Women's Rumble match was expertly booked with the right winner, a rising star who can capitalize on her guaranteed WrestleMania moment. Oh, and the other women's matches were fine, I guess. I think it's safe to say that people's opinion about the ending will be the deciding factor in whether or not they liked this show overall. And unfortunately for me, I didn't like the ending. So, Royal Rumble 2021 was a bit disappointing. However, I have a feeling I'm going to be firmly in the minority on that one. Anyway, that will do it for the Royal Rumble. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I'll be back on Thursday with my action figure review of Dynamite, so definitely check back then. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to do all that normal YouTube stuff. Smash the like button, share with any wrestling or action figure fans you may know, subscribe to the channel, and spread the word. You can also talk to me over on Twitter at PSUOptimus, or see all my best figure photography over on Instagram at WrestlingOptimus. If you haven't seen last week's Dynamite review, you can check that out right here. But until next time, I've been Wrestling Optimus, and I'll catch you later.